I'm Ryan Scott.
What's up? I'm EVOLSI. We're SWAN.
You gonna say what's up twice?
At the same time?
What's up? I'm Ryan. And we're SWAN.
We can't do it, so lame.
Yeah.
How should we do it?
Yo, what's up? I'm Ryan Scott.
And I'm EVOLSI. And we're SWAN.
Alright, what's up? I'm Ryan Scott.
And I'm EVOLSI.
And we're SWAN.
That was actually pretty good.
Alright, so we're doing this new web series because we're finishing up releasing our first set of songs that are like our first official release music under SWAN. They are just released as singles, but whenever the last one is done, it's actually a collective EP. So we wanted to make this web series kind of going into more detail about how the songs were made, the ideas behind them.
Yeah, so you'll notice that we've released a couple songs, but the EP is going to be a total of 5 tracks. But we wanted to start off and show you how we made each one, the conceptualized story of each one, and then how they all come together to be the EP. We're going to hold off on letting you guys know the name for right now, but at the end of it, it'll all make sense. This is the first one. It's for 3 a.m., the first song that we released as a duo, I believe.
Yeah, me and Kelly, especially when we very first started, we lived back in Texas and we were 6 hours apart. So we did a lot of city stuff back and forward.
Yeah.
This will shed a little more light, like kind of like on the individual side of it, like you said. So how I made the beat. This was a track me and Kelly made when we were still living in Texas. So I already had the beat made. And since I'm not a vocal artist, I would always take vocals from other sample packs, you know, stuff like that, royalty free. Most of them are god awful, but you can find some good ones every once in a while. So I found this one, and I structured kind of the song around that. So this is basically what the first version is without Kelly's vocals.
Your love is like a truck, let's slow it down, down, down. Oh, we're moving too fast, let's slow it down, down, down.
You know, so not great, you know, not awful, but I'm thankful that I did get those samples because how I made the drop, which I'll show you later, I sampled it from that. So it ended up working out, but basically I just took away the vocals and sent it to Kelly, and she really smashed it with the whole 3 a.m. idea and like kind of wrote it fitting the beat. So to go into the beat to start off with, you know, it's really nothing too crazy. It's really not, it's very simple. I always like to start out with synths and stuff, so like the chords are the first thing I got. It's just basically, you know, a really simple pattern stepping down the whole way. You know, it's like just a whirly, you know, kind of Rhodes, you know, just ambient piano. And that goes throughout like the whole song. The other synth that is in like the hook and the verse and all that stuff is a lead. And it's like, you know, like super ambient, not like too like plucky or anything like that, you know, just enough to like give it space. And then it just goes up 1 octave whenever the hook drops. Yeah, that's basically it for the whole synths for the entire, like for the verse in the hook and all that stuff. Drums and stuff like that is also like, you know, super simple, nothing like too crazy, you know, just a kick, a few hi-hats, you know, a clap. The one, I guess, unique thing that is for these drums is instead of using a regular like person for a chant, I use like it's a crow. So like that, I feel like it gives it like some uniqueness and kind of like adds to the vibe of like it being dark and stuff. A really cool thing in the drums that it does is it hits this little break right here where the drums and the percussion kind of go out, and that's whenever Kelly sings "It's 3 a.m. You're Lonely." I feel like whenever that part hits, you know, it's like kind of like the driving force of the song. So just to like help it resonate just a little more, I took it away. It kind of gives it a little more swing, you know, but it really, I feel like it really helps that 3 a.m. like that line to, you know, just hit you that much harder. But other than that, you know, I mean, the drum pattern is kind of the same. You know, it filters in here in the very beginning. And then opens up right here. The bass line is just an 808 that follows the kick pattern, and it follows the notes of the chords. So like the bottom bass note of the chords. Then it goes right here into the drop, which is the other part that, you know, I really like about this song. I think it makes it like super unique. I'll just go ahead and play it. So like the part obviously like, it's super catchy is like the no. And that is just from, remember that first sample from that other random girl's vocals that I found at the very end of like what she does. No. So basically I just So I just took this wave and I just like brought it and repeated it, you know, added some more effects to it, added a filter on it, put some sidechain compression to make it move a little bit more. And the only other thing is I felt like even though this does hit really hard, it did need a little more, so I added a synth. And then, you know, in the second 4 bars, the nose with the sample, the drop, and the synth just go 1 octave higher. So yeah, I mean, really that's it. You know, like I said, you got the synth chords from the whirly or whatever you want to call it. Going out through the rest of the song. We got the synth lead in here. Cymbals, drums, everything, obviously, you know? And then boom. So like I basically just already had that made, and I just took the vocals off and sent it to Kelly, and then, you know, we just did it just a little bit after it, but you know, she just did a really good job of like fitting the tone and, you know, really like creating like a really cool concept with the 3 a.m.
So the lyrical concept of 3 a.m. came about, you know, everything I write is pretty autobiographical. I like to use stories from my own life or the people around me. And this came from a recent breakup. It was one of those breakups where it's like, you know, you kind of know you're going to get back together. It's more of a break than a breakup. And 3 a.m. was sort of an idea because we had broken up, and then we're both like out for the night. We're going to different clubs, and we're in the same city, so it's weird, you know, when you're like, you don't know if you're going to run into them or what's going to happen. It's like when you're in that mindset of a breakup and you know, like, we're probably going to get back together, but I still kind of want to be a hard ass. I want to make them think we're not, you know what I mean? You want to kind of play games a little bit. And so it kind of has like a very, I don't know, I guess undertone that's sort of hard ass, if that makes sense. Okay, so I started off with this. Taking all my pictures off the shelf, looking for another way to love somebody else. Well, do you understand the way it felt to try to love somebody who can't even love themselves? So I basically say, I'm taking all your pictures off the shelf, which means like I'm kind of getting rid of you in my mind. And then I go on to say that, do you understand the way it felt to try to love somebody who can't even love themselves? So you get a taste for the insecurities within them. You kind of start to understand them as a person and see that maybe their lack of security within themselves causes them to do things that you don't respect and that aren't respectful of you either. And then I say, you get off on hurting me, but I don't think you even see that. You could never ruin me, 'cause I see through all of your insecurities. So I say, you get off on hurting me. Basically just saying like you like it gives you more power when you feel like you have control over me, and you do that by hurting me. And then I say, but you can never ruin me because I see through all your insecurities. Just kind of showing myself and this person that they have no power over me if I don't let them. That's just like, that's the whole premise of the song is, put your phone down, please don't call me, Jesus Christ, boy, it's 3 a.m., you're lonely. Everyone's been there where they get the text or the call at 3 a.m. and they're just like, leave me alone, like tonight's probably not the night for this. You'll be looking for my love and someone else, found a girl that's at the club, but you're leaving by yourself. You'll be looking for the way to make you feel, see you flexing on the ground, I know none of it is real. Okay, that's low-key probably my favorite part of the whole song because I was like on Instagram and Snapchat and I was looking and I see, you know, obviously they're like doing the most. In the club with girls, but the girls aren't even really paying attention to them, but they're still Snapchatting to try and like show it off to make you jealous. But it's like, I know you are gonna leave the club alone tonight and go home and like you can pretend like you're not, but I know what's going on. It's almost like a sarcastic, like laughing part of the song. And then the drops that over and over. It's just saying, I know none of it's real, like it's all fake. Everything you do is for the flex, basically. The song's kind of mean. I swear I'm not that mean, but it's just, sometimes you gotta say what everybody's thinking but doesn't want to say. Alright, now to the second verse, which is... You want all the reasons why I left, but even if I told you it's not something you would get. With all of your excuses in my head, I started to run so fast I couldn't catch my breath. That says, you want all the reasons why I left, but even if I told you, it's not something you would get. With all your excuses in my head, I started to run so fast I couldn't catch my breath. Just like, even if I tried to explain it to you, you're not going to understand it, so I'm just going to go off onto my own for now. Like, I need this time and this space to just figure it out myself. Because you can ask all the questions you want, and I don't think that you would still get it, because who you are to me and who you are to yourself is two different people. This is how we'll ever be. I don't want apologies, but maybe you could try to say that we'd be better off if you don't contact me. So this is all we'll ever be, and I don't want apologies. It's just saying I don't need you to say sorry for everything you did because it's not going to change anything, you know? And then it just kind of repeats itself. That's almost like the second part of the verse, but it still repeats because I feel like when you write something and it just fits the explanation perfectly, sometimes you want to change it the next time to tell the story in a better way. And sometimes the story doesn't really have an ending, it doesn't have a resolve, so you kind of just want to repeat what you're saying to get the point across more so. And that's what I did for this one. I mean, the whole premise is just that, you know, this person is insecure and the way that they're acting towards you stems from that inside of them. So it's sort of just, it's just about the process of moving on and getting over, even though you kind of know like it's in this weird back and forth where you're probably going to get back together, but you just are so pissed you want to tell them all the things that you hate about them or that are bothering you in the moment.
Alright, so hopefully that made sense. First off, hopefully it gave you a little bit better insight on like how the song was made, you know, what it means to us.
Yeah, I mean, basically what it means to us doesn't necessarily mean what it's going to mean to anybody. That's what's so cool about music, is you kind of get to decipher it in a way that makes sense to you and that fits your certain situations. But, you know, when we get the chance to explain it, it helps us to tell our story better and also to help tell the concept of the eventual EP better.
Well, stick around for our next one whenever we go over our track Mistake.
Swan. See you flexing on the gram, I know none of it is real. I know none of it is real.
Penny, lay down! Lay down! Lay down. Lay down. Come on. Come on.
Yeah.
Come on, we don't have all day.